Which of you is in charge?
Hey man, what the fuck?
Yo, big man. Know when to get out of here before you get hurt, shit?
I don't want any trouble.
Yo, bitch, if you're a cop, we got nothing to say.
Like I said, now my brother...
You're not a cop, you're in the wrong fucking place.
I'm here as a brother of the island who has lost his brother. I'm not here as a cop. And all I want is a little information about what happened to my brother. I realize you guys are not from the island, so you don't know me or my reputation.
Motherfucker, you do see I got a loaded gun, right?
Look,
Shoot this motherfucker, man.
all I want is... I'm not here to hurt anyone, okay? Use it now if you like.
No, I never met him. We were just told to fuck some dude up looking for his brother.
Thank you.
The film opens with the vibrant atmosphere of a cozy cafe on an island aptly named Island, where a live band sets the mood. The cafe is owned by a charming man named Alvarez, who finds himself captivated by the band's lead singer, Nora. He invites her to his table, showering her with compliments about her beauty and remarkable voice. So taken by her talent, he proposes an enticing offer, a 1-year contract for her to perform at the cafe every Saturday night, with a pay rate that is 3 times the norm. Overjoyed by this unexpected opportunity, Nora eagerly accepts. However, the evening takes a dark turn when Alvarez instructs a bartender to bring Nora a glass of wine. In a moment of clumsiness, the bartender accidentally spills the wine all over her dress. Though Nora tries to remain composed and reassures everyone that it's no big deal, Alvarez's demeanor shifts dramatically. He is enraged at the thought of hosting an important guest with someone in a ruined dress. In a shocking act of violence, he murders the bartender right before Nora's eyes. Horrified and terrified, she realizes that Alvarez is far from the benevolent cafe owner she believed him to be. He is a ruthless and dangerous figure. As the plot unfolds, it becomes clear that Alvarez is the leader of a powerful American mafia, having spent 4 years on the island building his illegal empire. The scene then transitions to Los Angeles, where we meet Mark, a police chief, and his partner Phil, who are undercover as criminals orchestrating a deal at the airport. Just as they are about to finalize their transaction, chaos erupts when Phil unexpectedly attacks one of the dealer's henchmen, igniting a fierce brawl.
Hey, yo, Rambo, man, is that shit necessary?
Hey yo, what's up with Senor Gun Show over here?
It's cool, man, just show him the paper.
Come on now, handsome. Let me show you something real pretty.
What's up, man? Where's my shit?
About to make your day, man. Come on.
Lindo.
Meat and potatoes, as promised.
Same quality as before?
Even better. We happy? Yeah, that's your happy face.
We good. Give him the money.
Not gonna lose any sleep if I never have to see your ugly fucking face ever again.
Yo, Phil. We good?
I'm gonna need you to pick up that bag.
Wait, so this whole time you can speak English?
Pick up that bag.
Hey, LAPD, motherfucker, drop it, drop it.
He's a dead man. You both are.
Shut the fuck up.
Phil! You okay?
If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you.
Amidst the turmoil, Mark receives a phone call from his mother back in their hometown, delivering devastating news. His brother has been found dead. Shaken and distraught, Mark rushes back home, only to discover that his hometown is the same island where he had encountered Alvarez. Upon his arrival for his brother's funeral, Mark is heartbroken to learn that his younger brother was the bartender killed by Alvarez just days earlier. His mother is utterly devastated by the loss of her youngest child, and whispers circulate among the mourners suggesting that his brother may have been murdered by gangsters while returning home from work. To Mark's shock and horror, Alvarez and his two henchmen appear at the funeral to extend their condolences. After the service, Mark and his mother return home. As he sifts through old photographs of himself and his brother, he reflects on how much time has passed, 11 long years since he last visited the island, all due to his demanding role as police chief. The weight of grief and newfound revelations intertwine as Mark grapples with the reality of his brother's fate and the sinister world surrounding Alvarez. With a heavy heart, Mark silently vows to uncover the truth behind his brother's death and seek justice. The following day, he makes his way to the island's police station, determined to find answers. He heads directly to the office of the police chief, where he is greeted by B, a childhood friend. Their warm and familiar exchange highlights the deep bond they once shared. B expresses heartfelt condolences for Mark's loss and assures him that an investigation will commence immediately. Eager for information, Mark inquires about any leads regarding his brother's murder. B explains that while they know the killers belong to a gang, identifying which one among the multitude on the island will be a challenging task. While at the station, Mark unexpectedly encounters Akila, a martial arts instructor, and his ex-girlfriend. After 11 years apart, her genuine happiness at seeing him again is palpable. They engage in conversation, with Akila offering her heartfelt condolences for his brother's passing. Mark asks if she has any insights into his brother's routine or which gang might be involved in his murder. Although Akila admits she isn't sure which gang is responsible due to the influx of new gangs since Mark's departure, she reveals that his brother had been working with an American man named Alvarez. She warns Mark that Alvarez is not merely a cafe owner, he is, in fact, the leader of a dangerous mafia organization. The cafes he operates serve as a facade for his illicit dealings in weapons and goods. This revelation ignites a sense of suspicion within Mark toward Alvarez, compelling him to confront him directly. Before leaving, he asks Akila to look after his mother and ensure her safety, fearing she may be at risk. Shortly after, Mark arrives at Alvarez's cafe. As he approaches, Alvarez's right-hand man attempts to block his entry, but Alvarez intervenes, granting Mark access. Without hesitation, Mark confronts Alvarez, demanding to know if he has any information about his brother's death. Alvarez quickly spins a tale, claiming that Mark's brother was killed by strangers while returning home from a late shift. Unconvinced, Mark issues a stern warning: if Alvarez is involved in the murder, he will never forgive him. Alvarez merely chuckles, dismissing Mark's threats as inconsequential since he views him as just another ordinary police officer. With an air of nonchalance, Alvarez provides Mark with the location of a cafe frequented by gangsters, suggesting that they might have information about his brother's death. As Mark departs, Alvarez quietly instructs his right-hand man to gather the gangsters from the north and take care of Mark that very night, setting into motion a dangerous game of vengeance and survival. Meanwhile, Mark decided to visit his best friend, who operated a humble hot dog stand. During their conversation, he inquired about some weapons he had entrusted to him in the past. His friend revealed that the weapons were securely hidden in an abandoned building near the beach, buried deep for safekeeping. As the tale unfolded, it became evident that in their teenage years, Mark and his best friend were seen as leaders on the island, earning the respect and admiration of their peers. However, after Mark's departure to Los Angeles, the island began to attract ruthless foreign gangs and mafia groups, all vying for power and dominance. Understanding the gravity of Mark's situation, his best friend recognized that Mark would be relentless in his pursuit of vengeance for his brother's death. In solidarity, he pledged to assist Mark in any way possible. After their heartfelt exchange, Mark set off for the secluded building by the beach. There, he unearthed the weapons his friend had concealed for him, steeling himself for the next phase of his mission. As night descended, Mark made his way to the cafe Alvarez had mentioned. Upon entering, he cut through the blaring music and approached the gangsters with determination, demanding to know who was responsible for his brother's death. The gangsters bristled at his accusation and quickly turned hostile, launching a brutal assault on him. Drawing upon every ounce of strength and skill he possessed, Mark fought back fiercely, managing to subdue them one by one.
Which of you is in charge?
Hey man, what the fuck?
You're a big man. You might want to get out of here before you get hurt, yeah?
I don't want any trouble.
Yo, bitch, if you're a cop, we got nothing to say.
Like I said, now my brother,
You're not a cop, you're in the wrong fucking place.
I'm here as a brother of the island who has lost his brother. I'm not here as a cop, and all I want is a little information about what happened to my brother. I realize you guys are not from the island, so you don't know me or my reputation.
Motherfucker, you do see I got a loaded gun, right?
Look,
Shoot this motherfucker, man.
all I want is... I'm not here to hurt anyone. Okay?
You broke my fucking nose.
I could use it now if you like.
No. I never met him. We were just told to fuck some dude up looking for his brother.
Thank you.
Once the gangsters lay incapacitated, he pressed the gang leader for answers. The leader staunchly denied any involvement in the crime, insisting that they did not harm locals. Just as Mark was about to press further, a group of gangsters from the north, sent by Alvarez, burst into the cafe, weapons drawn. They opened fire on Mark, but he narrowly evaded their bullets and fled into the night. What ensued was a harrowing chase through the streets. In the heat of the pursuit, Mark managed to take down one of his attackers and found refuge in a hidden spot. The gangsters scoured the area for him, but he cleverly eluded them long enough for them to lose his trail. Meanwhile, the gang leader contacted Alvarez to report their failure to locate Mark. Enraged, Alvarez ordered his men to shift tactics and eliminate Mark's mother instead. Back at Mark's house, the gang stormed in, expecting to find her asleep in bed. They fired at what they believed was her figure, only to discover it was merely a pillow. Aquila, Mark's ex-girlfriend, had taken precautions to safeguard his mother by swapping places with her. Later that night, Mark and B, the police chief, arrived at Mark's home to investigate the scene. As they surveyed the chaos, a chilling thought gripped Mark: if he hadn't entrusted Aquila with his mother's safety, she could have easily become the target of this horrific attack. At that moment, B informs Mark that he has received crucial new information from his informant regarding his brother's murder. He reveals that a witness, a talented female singer named Nora, saw the crime unfold. He shares that Nora resides in a motel near the church, specifically in room 18, and strongly encourages Mark to speak with her directly to uncover the truth behind his brother's death. The following day, Mark makes his way to the motel in search of Nora. Upon arriving at her door, he senses her hesitation. She fears he might be one of Alvarez's men sent to threaten her. In a swift motion, Mark displays his police badge, assuring her that he means no harm. Relieved by his sincerity, Nora opens the door, and they begin their conversation. Mark promises Nora that if she reveals the truth about who killed the bartender, who he has just learned was his younger brother, he will help her escape the island safely. With visible trepidation, Nora confesses that Alvarez was responsible for his brother's death, all because of a spilled glass of wine on her dress. She explains that ever since that tragic incident, she has been trapped on the island, living in fear that Alvarez will retaliate if she goes to the police with what she knows. Shocked by this revelation, Mark quickly helps Nora leave her room and insists that they meet up with B. He asks B to take Nora to the pier, ensuring her safe passage off the island without any complications. B agrees and drives Nora toward the pier while Mark begins to strategize his revenge against Alvarez for his brother's murder. Meanwhile, Alvarez is plotting his own moves. He orders his mercenaries to track down Mark and bring him in. A few hours later, the mercenaries arrive on the island and make their way directly to Mark's house, intent on finding him. Inside, Mark is with his mother and Aquila, finalizing a plan that involves leaving his mother in Aquila's care while he prepares to confront Alvarez. Just as they are about to execute their plan, the sudden sound of a car pulling up shatters the quiet atmosphere. It's Alvarez's team of mercenaries come to find Mark. In a rush, Mark grabs a weapon and leads his mother and Aquila to the back of the house for safety. 2 mercenaries remain near the car while the other 2 enter the house to search for Mark. As they investigate, they pick up on clues suggesting that Mark may have escaped out the back. They immediately pursue him. Mark tries to stay one step ahead, but soon finds himself cornered as 2 mercenaries catch up to him, igniting a fierce gunfight. Meanwhile, the 2 mercenaries guarding the car spot B, leading to a tense shootout. However, B skillfully manages to fend them off and escapes unharmed. Back with Mark, he continues to battle one of the mercenaries while the other slips away unnoticed. Just then, he receives a call from B, checking in on his whereabouts amidst the chaos. Mark informs B that he is currently with his mother in Aquila, seeking refuge at his best friend's house, the one who operates the hot dog stand. The narrative then shifts to Alvarez and his right-hand man, who are holed up in a hotel room, frantically searching for Nora. Alvarez's frustration escalates when he discovers that she is missing. In a violent outburst, he shoots and kills the hotel guard, holding him responsible for failing to protect her. Meanwhile, Mark arrives at his best friend's place, resolute in his mission to ensure his mother and Aquila's safety while he seeks vengeance against Alvarez for his brother's murder. His best friend greets Mark's mother and Aquila warmly, but as Mark prepares to leave, Aquila insists on accompanying him. Despite his concerns for her safety, Aquila's determination prevails, leading to a brief but intense argument before they agree to face the impending danger together. Later that evening, Mark and Aquila anxiously await the arrival of Chief of Police B, having devised a plan to confront Alvarez as a united front. When B's car finally pulls up, they are shocked to see him remain inside. Alarmed, they rush over to investigate, only to be horrified by the sight of B gravely injured. Before they can process the situation, gunfire erupts as Alvarez's remaining mercenaries launch a surprise attack. In the ensuing chaos, the mercenaries capture Aquila while Mark desperately attempts to tend to the dying B struggling to stay conscious. B urges Mark to continue fighting for justice and to protect their island from criminals like Alvarez. With his final breath, he implores Mark to save their home from the clutches of these ruthless men. The following morning, the local church fills with congregants attending a service. Mark steps before the assembly, his voice resonating with passion as he addresses the community about the oppression they have endured at the hands of outsiders. He reveals Alvarez as the mastermind behind the criminal activities plaguing their island and emphasizes that this struggle transcends his brother's death. It is also a fight for B, their beloved police chief, and for Aquila, who has been taken captive. His stirring words ignite a fire within the people, rallying them to stand alongside him against Alvarez. After the meeting, Mark heads to the police station, assuming the role of acting chief of police in B's absence. He gathers the officers and outlines their new mission, to dismantle Alvarez's operations. As he delves into gathering intelligence on Alvarez's criminal network, he is interrupted by an unexpected visit from his former partner, Phil, who has flown in from Los Angeles out of concern for Mark's prolonged absence. When they finally connect, Mark explains that he has no intention of returning until he confronts Alvarez, the man responsible for his brother's death and Aquila's abduction. Phil, fully grasping the seriousness of the situation, immediately stepped forward to offer his assistance, embracing Mark's struggle as if it were his own. Later that afternoon, Mark received a call from Alvarez, who had pieced together that Mark was responsible for Nora's escape. Alvarez laid out a chilling proposal: they would meet at 7 a.m. the following day for an exchange, Nora for Aquila. He assured Mark that after this transaction, he would leave him in peace, provided Mark agreed to forget all of Alvarez's transgressions. Although Mark felt a deep reluctance to accept such terms, he ultimately acquiesced, knowing that true forgiveness was impossible until he had avenged his brother's death. Complicating matters further, Nora had already left the island, making it impossible for Mark to bring her to the exchange. After the call, Mark immediately reached out to Phil, requesting him to assemble a team from the local police. He entrusted Phil with leading the operation to rescue Aquila during the impending meeting with Alvarez. Without hesitation, Phil agreed, ready to execute Mark's plan and do whatever it took to help. The next morning, Mark stood apprehensively at the designated meeting spot, anxiously awaiting Alvarez's arrival. Meanwhile, Phil and his team of local officers stealthily infiltrated Alvarez's stronghold in a bid to rescue Aquila. They were quickly met with resistance from one of Alvarez's mercenaries, but Phil responded swiftly, neutralizing the threat with remarkable efficiency. At the meeting point, Mark finally confronted Alvarez and one of his most trusted associates. Without delay, Alvarez demanded to know Nora's whereabouts. In a bid to buy time, Mark lied, claiming Nora would appear once Aquila was present. His mind raced as he awaited updates from Phil, who was deep in the midst of the rescue operation. Phil had successfully located Aquila but found himself facing a mercenary with a gun aimed directly at him. With no viable escape route, surrender seemed inevitable. Fortunately, Phil's team soon arrived on the scene and managed to eliminate the mercenaries, freeing Aquila in the process. Phil wasted no time in calling Mark to relay the good news that Aquila was safe with him. In response, Mark reassured him that Nora was secure in Los Angeles and would not be returning to the island. However, Alvarez then issued a chilling threat: He would harm Aquila unless Mark complied with his demands. Maintaining his composure, Mark informed Alvarez that his henchmen were no longer a threat, his team had dealt with them effectively. Enraged, Alvarez commanded his right-hand man to shoot Mark. But in a swift display of skill, Mark disarmed and incapacitated Alvarez's enforcer before the situation could spiral further out of control.
Kill him.
Just when it seemed that disaster was imminent, an unexpected turn of events unfolded. The hot dog vendor and a group of island locals emerged from the shadows, surrounding Alvarez and his men, all armed and prepared for confrontation. Mark quickly raised his hands in a gesture of peace and urged everyone to lower their weapons. He proposed a solution, a duel between himself and Alvarez to settle their conflict once and for all. After a moment of reluctant contemplation, Alvarez accepted the challenge.
Now what? You're just gonna let your little friends shoot me?
Things are changing. Starting with you. But I'm gonna give you a choice that you didn't give my brother.
Let us shoot him, brother.
I wish you could have seen your brother's eyes.
The scene then shifted to a serene beach where Mark and Aquila found themselves alone together. They shared a quiet yet profound moment, one that solidified their bond and hinted at their plans for marriage in the near future. Shortly after, Phil extended an invitation for Mark to return to Los Angeles with him. However, Mark declined, expressing his deep sense of responsibility to remain on the island and protect it from any outsiders who might seek to seize control. Thank you for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.